Yeah, I don't think you could file a copyright for a Toho sound font cover of Castlevania music that clearly belongs to someone else already.
Yeah, at that point, it's like, what the hell are you even doing? All right, so I'm taking over, so I'm going to walk through some more of the gameplay elements of this game. First of all, I do like your jump. The floating jump does feel pretty nice. It does allow you to... I'm going to get hit by that a lot. It doesn't trigger like until you're right underneath it. It's really annoying. All right, but I can show this off. Yeah, so I guess your backstep, you don't have, unfortunately, the famous Alucard backstep from Sleep in the Night, so unfortunate. 2 out of 10 would recommend. But also, the movement system is kind of decent when you're on the ground. It's weird how this game does kind of function decently well sometimes as a Castlevania game until you try to do anything like Castlevania related. But anyway, so very funny thing, what game is the dive kick from? I don't remember. It wasn't in Symphony because Alucard would take it like just like a diving stance, but not actually like jump down. So, but unironically, it might be her best move.
That's not a Richter thing?
It's not a Richter thing. He doesn't really have anything like a straight dive. He has a slide, but no actual dive. No, the dive move here is actually probably her best move because it's got such fast recovery on it, and you can like literally enemy step like to no end. Now, if you hold down and press A, you will do like a backstep, which is kind of cool because you have like full iframes, I think, for a portion of it, but I don't know how long that lasts.
Not gonna tell you.
And even then, I don't like using it in general because it just doesn't have like a good flow. Like it takes forever for it to end. Like once you're on the floor, she has to go back to a full neutral stance before she can do anything else. And I'm really not a fan of that. Also, you can do this.
Okay, that's kind of cute.
I just like the enemy stuff so much. It's great. Ah. But no, here we do have. I've shown you a little bit of Symphony Night. This is being Dracula Castle, which still does a pretty good job of it. Trying to nail this kind of level design because it's like, I mean, it's linear still, but it's like not as linear. A little bit tricky. Also, I found this off screen.
Nice.
I got a sandwich, got a bunch of red orbs. Red orbs? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go with that. We're not taking enough from gothic influences in this game already.
I mean, like you've said, we already have enemy step.
Yeah, right? Come on. Yeah, so this is pretty much what the Christopher weapon is trying to do. It's trying to be like a huge hitbox that has better range. And watch this. You can also just like delete like projectiles that can be struck as such. Again, the issue is that the move itself does no damage. It pulls from your AP meter. If it had good damage or it didn't pull from a meter, I think it would be totally fine. In fact, I would think it's actually probably better than a regular sword. But since that's not the case, well,
it has too many limitations on it. If it had even one of those two things remedied, it wouldn't even be a problem at all.
Yeah.
If it had damage, it would be great. If it didn't pull from your meter, it would be great.
Yeah, so here's one good thing you can do using the backstep for. Full iframes.
Nice.
Yeah, normally these things do actually hit you pretty hard, but if you don't even need to partake in that game of trying to backstep. If you don't want to, you can just kind of just like zone them out and just not even care really. Now, also, you might see the way we're playing the game, we're not really using our sub-weapons that much. There's a couple reasons for that. The sub-weapons are good, but they don't offer you a lot of utility outside of, I guess I'll just show it, outside of exactly this.
They have
Why don't we get to a good area?
Like with Mega Man weapons, they have no use in the stages themselves.
Unless your name is exactly whatever that cutter thing is from Mega Man 2.
Metal Blade.
Yeah, like select few weapons. That also they just cost a lot of hearts in general.
Yeah, they're like 30 or 50.
The time stop is like, what is it? Fucking
40.
That's actually better than I thought it was. I thought it was 50 flat.
The character weapons cost 50.
Yeah. All except for, god damn it. All except for Manling's, funny enough. Manling's, I think, is only like 20 or something, but that's because it's a much faster move.
And also, she's the very first one you get.
Yeah, 25.
When you get to the ones that actually do damage, then they cost money.
Oh, yeah. Especially, like, the later game ones. Those are going to cost you an arm and a leg, unfortunately, but you generally, since there's no enemies in the game that drop healing items, fuck. Well, it's going to happen sooner or later. Oh yeah, by the way, spikes aren't instant death unless you're on higher difficulties. Otherwise, they just do a lot of damage to you.
Yeah. It's sequentially less depending on what difficulty you're on. So, like, half or a third to a quarter to like a fifth.
Oh, also one important thing is that when you're trying to hover, you can't re-engage a hover if you're in a jump and you cancel it. So it's as a result, platforming is kind of rigid and kind of sucks. Do you want to talk about this now?
Yes. Okay. I had no idea that this existed until I saw it actually on the fucking eShop. So I'm gonna have to go back to the original game at some point on PC and look and see this. That fucking portrait there is literally just the awakened form Goen from Hunter x Hunter when he gets super pissed off that Neferpito killed Kite or Wing or whatever the hell his name is, and he turns into this adult form with superpower.
Yep.
And it's, why the fuck would you stick that meme here? And why is he over a backdrop of an ocean at sunset?
No idea.
What the fuck?
That is such a weird ass inclusion. Anyway, cat girl.
For all intents and purposes, Yukari's granddaughter.
Huh.
But not actually, for all intents and purposes.
Who's Yukari's daughter then?
Technically, that would be Ron,
Who's Ron again?
the fox.
Oh, yeah, okay. That'll explain that.
That's not literal, but that's basically their dynamic. But Fanon will do a thing where Yukari will say, of course she's not old, even though she is the oldest living being in this dimension.
Okay. So there is something of an actual plot going on here. We're not completely bullshitting, but it takes a while to get through, and also
it hasn't started yet.
It hasn't really started yet. But except for that thing with Yukari at the very beginning, all we really know right now is that Yukari is doing something, and we need to stop it. So fairly generic. Oh god, yeah, you can't outrun that at all, unless you are like exactly point blank. So unironically, mainly, yep.
You can tell this game is doing a bad job of embodying the Toho spirit by not having your hitbox only be in your sternum. These bullets hit you in the leg, and they actually hit you.
You are actually right about that, because your legs didn't have a hitbox in the other game.
Believe me, you will get snagged by your legs a lot in this game, especially towards the back end.
Sakuya's got some really nice legs, but unfortunately they have a hurt box, so yeah. God, I keep pressing R1 for my sub button. Fuck. I don't know why. I'm not sure what game I'm thinking of right now. Anyway, unfortunately, Chen, her name is? Yeah. She's a little bit of a rough boss to try to get through your first time through. Not horrible, way more manageable than Alice's, but still not amazingly easy.
She's more frantic, but she shoots less bullets overall.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have a bullet cloud surrounding her at all times the way Alice does.
Yeah, she's fast. If you're not using mailing, you're gonna have a rough time because of how much she hovers. But with mailing, significantly easier.
Because she does a lot of vertical attacks, and so does mailing, so mailing can be used to intercept her.
Oh yeah, mailing is unironically a fairly good sub weapon. It only costs 25 heart thereabouts. Pretty good damage. Hits way above and way in front. So unironically, fairly good.
Hey, cat jokes.
Hey. Also, I like how we did put in this right work.
Yeah, she's based on the cat yokai, the Nekomata, the two-tailed cat beast.
Oh, yeah, actually it has two tails right there.
Hey, that's a thing in Naruto.
Oh, yeah, it is. Here you go.
Cool.
Yeah, for our foray through Dracula's castle went pretty well. Actually, I like this stage. This stage was really good.
Which one is the next one? Is that the library, or is
that's
that
the underwater cave one?
The catacombs.
Still, wait, is it? Yeah. So for a while, also, you're only gonna be able to get these 3 sub weapons for the start. So don't. You're gonna want to experiment to get a little comfortable with them. Now here's where things get a little bit more complicated, but not terribly so. I believe this is like my 4th time through this level, and I still gotta say this is really good. Unironically, the underwater catacombs from Symphony Night is probably one of my favorite levels, probably in the entirety of the Castlevania series from what I played so far. Really, such nice ambiance in general, and also just really good atmosphere. So this encapsulates that pretty nicely. I am a fan. I will definitely say that.
The layering on the platforms is weird.
Yeah, there's no real sense of
standing
there's
on.
no
also
real,
it fucks with the screen.
There's no real sense of depth for that. Yeah.
No, hang on. Look at the background.
Yeah, I see it. Oh yeah, I see that. Maybe that might be the upscaler.
No, that wouldn't do that.
Yeah, got me then.
Especially since it's only in one place.
Yeah, for a situation like that, the Crisgrim would probably be quicker for it till you can carry enemies, but again, it's so handicapped that it's not really worth it. Don't worry, that tombstone will not attack you.
You'll know when they when they do their banjo run at you.
They definitely will come out later on, that's for sure.
Is that a Castlevania thing?
Attacking tombstones? Not really. At least as far as I remember.
Because the first time I encountered something like that was in Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, that's some weird like nondescript enemy that you. It strikes me as a Donkey Kong 64 enemy, honestly.
I mean, they probably did that too, but Banjo came out first. There's a level where you're going through a graveyard, and some of the tombstones will come to life and start running at you.
Yeah, this section be extremely careful. The spikes, they can still. They don't insta kill you on this difficulty, but they will hurt a lot. And the platforms move. Okay, Sakuya's jump is way harder than I like it to be sometimes, and it doesn't feel very adjustable.
Yeah.
So when you're going down below, in order to move past this area, you can still clip it by accident.
Yeah, you can.
So you want to be extremely careful in that front.
Also, do not be standing literally on the edge. You'll get clipped by the spikes.
You have seen that happen to me more than once, yeah. Obviously, like, these current skeleton enemies are a reference to the red skeletons from Symphony. Don't need to mention that. Man.
Naturally, those were there the first time.
I do have to expand my horizons a bit more and play some. I'm still on my Mario Renaissance right now. I haven't even gotten to playing Castlevania games as of late, but I really want to play out at least Castlevania 3 with the original Famicom soundtrack and Super Castlevania 4 because I've nearly been in that game before.
Do you want to play
this guy?
Do you want to play the shitty PS3 game together?
Which shitty PS3 game? What, Lords of Shadow?
Together.
I know exactly.
Harmony of Despair.
Harmony of Despair, yeah. Maybe. Okay, so here's the thing, dude.
I imagine that would be at least marginally less painful when you have someone there to
No.
The
don't.
DLC doesn't exist anymore and you want to play as your wife.
No. Oh, that'd be nice. I don't think the game has local co-op.
Yes, it does.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but that'd be nice.
I've seen it.
Also, no, Shinoa is base game. Trust me, I know about that.
No,
the DLC is pretty neat though because you get I don't remember the Belmont's name from Dawn of Sorrow. Funny enough, he's pretty cool because he does have a full 8-way whip, or at least nearly 8-way. I think there's only like 2 angles he can't hit, but he's really cool. Oh, Julius, that's it.
Is one of them named Victor?
No, there is Richter, but no Victor.
I thought I heard that from somewhere.
Not possible. Also, you do have a classic 8-bit Simon Belmont in the DLC, and that's also pretty cool. No, the DLC is pretty cool for Harmony of Despair, but I
love this background.
It's so nice. Weird water pitting aside. Okay, you saw me playing Donkey Kong Country a little bit. Isn't just like the idea of like weird nondescript like civilizations in the background just super cool?
I love Wet Dry World.
Yeah, exactly. Like, unironically, the idea of just like some random bullshit, like weird civilization being implied in the background is just so neat.
I think they discovered that picture was of Spain.
Yeah, I think it was in Super Mario 64. Donkey Kong Country is pretty cool about it because the third world, like the treetop trouble and whatnot, it also looks like it's like some sort of like Ewok civilization up there from Star Wars, and there's just no one else up there. It's really cool. I just like shit like that. Environmental storytelling, baby. Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's some of the more classic enemies.
Unfortunately, these ones we cannot use to farm in order to get a better weapon at the start of the game, but you know details. Now,
Again with the background.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. That's gotta be the upscaler fucking up or something. Actually, I'd be willing to bet it's having troubles with darks and blacks. So I have a very funny bit of trivia for you that you may not know about, actually. Would you believe me if I told you the Crisgrim is potentially not the strongest weapon in Symphony of the Night?
For all I've heard, I would certainly hope so.
So, in terms of being overpowered out the gate, it totally is, but there is one very funny weapon in the game that actually can become more powerful today. It's a little weapon called the Muramasa. Now, no, we're not talking about Bleach characters. Now, this weapon is very cool.
That is certainly not the pull I was thinking.
That's right about that. So
it's a very common thing in Japanese media.
yeah. So the Muramasa, yep, it's down here. Is a very cool weapon because it's a katana. It's also, it starts off with like 1 damage. It's really pathetic.
Oh, is this one of those weapons where it's like it gains as a power point for every enemy you kill?
Yes, kind of. So there's actually an effect in the game where like blood splatters from enemies can end up on you. Normally this is good if you use like not Soul Seal, but like this one blood Dark Metamorphosis, where Alucard can heal off of being splattered by enemy's blood. However, this weapon called the Muramasa actually gains has its own individual. Sorry, Koumajou, 1 second. It actually does have its own individual experience bar, and you can level this thing up by just grinding a lot of enemies in this area specifically. Eventually, it will do fuckloads of damage. I'm gonna go look up actually. Hang on a second.
You can tell the very minimal effort was put in this game's translation because they didn't translate any of the actual terms. That's supposed to be Sanzu River, the River of Three Crossings, because that's supposed to be the Buddhist equivalent of the River Styx. Komachi is the fairy woman that brings the lingering dead over to the gates of hell, or rather, brings them to a place where they'll be judged by King Yama for their sins and determined whether they're going to go to hell, heaven, or be returned to the cycle of reincarnation. Their King Yama is a lot cuter, though.
Yeah.
Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, kinda. So this is the exact text from the Castlevania fandom. So it takes several thousand blood heals for a Muramasa to exceed the Masamune in strength, making it impractical without the use of a taped-down turbo controller. But the upper limit to Muramasa's attack is 999, requiring over 1 million blood heals, meaning it's potentially the strongest weapon in the entire game.
Does it say how long that takes?
Someone on GameFAQs says 4,500 hours.
What?
Oh, no, I misread that. I think I've heard it's a long time, I'll tell you that.
What do we got?
From having tried it myself, at this rate, it would take about 225 hours of continuous sword hacking to accumulate the necessary 1,008,016 blood heals. Alucard will likely reach level 99 first at around 600k kills.
So that's where you're just going to input a cheat code that says max blood or whatever.
Yeah, it was at that point where I would personally give you the cheat codes to use on Duck Station in order to just get the max there. But theoretically, this thing can hit for absolutely obscene amounts of damage. It's very funny.
Thank you.
Thank you for the lift. Also, yes, there is an actual ferryman down here in the original game.
Yeah, no, I know that much. This arena is weird because you move slower because you're actually submerged in the water.
Yeah.
So you actually do have to think about your placement more because you're not as easily able to dodge.
Tiny things like that actually do kind of add to the details. God, she is just Dante.
I like her more than Dante, honestly. This is my favorite art in the game. I guess the series.
No, I see it. What? Wait, hang on. What the hell? When did she get that Zweihan on her back? And what is that supposed to be a reference to?
I couldn't tell you specifically. Maybe they're doing a Mihawk, but she's supposed to be carrying 2 katanas.
Unironically, I was about to say maybe Vampire Hunter D, which would be an actually very funny deep cut reference to another famous, basically Alucard. Although I think D is basically supposed to be the old Dracula.
Yeah. But she's supposed to be carrying two katana.
Yeah.
Hakuranken and Rokanken. The two spirit blades that if they cut you will instantly kill you.
Oopsie.
They turn anything they touch into a spirit, and being a spirit means separating from your body, which means instant death.
Ah, yeah.
And she is also a half spirit. That's the thing rotating around her, which means she is simultaneously dead and alive. Schrodinger would have a field day.
Yeah, basically. And Nigel just saw that I gives him Tales of Bizarria. Very nice. But he said thank you for the game. By the by, it is currently New Year's Eve while we're recording this, so go figure. This would end up being our last recording session of the year.
Oh yeah, don't forget to post the thing before the night's over.
What? Oh yeah, right.
Demo.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right, so this boss can be hard, but for a different reason than Alice. No, her attack pattern is a little bit I would say erratic. It's frequently hard to actually dodge some of the shit she throws at you. Like, yeah, for those namely, the bullets are way fatter with the hitbox than you would think. Actually,
She leaves her open from behind, but you don't get too many opportunities to actually get there.
I recommend using Mailing's assist unironically because she's usually at an angle that Mailing can get at least one good hit, and you can tag a hit in as well. But I've seen your spy work because she does actually use the other sword sometimes. Can't get a good read on what's supposed to be though. Yeah, her tall height makes it a little hard to actually reach it sometimes. Not too bad though.
Very nice. Yeah, I want to play a 3D action game with this character.
Yeah.
I want to play their... It's funny, we were talking about this sort of thing yesterday. I want to play her Platinum game, where I guess her Muso or something. Yomu, I mean.
Yeah. God, surprised there hasn't been more attempts at that kind of game, actually. Like, there's a couple, like, weird 3D hack and slash games on Steam that you could just basically slap on a total character and call it a day.